Hi, and welcome to our webinar titled 2020 Insight, A Path to True Agility for Office Manufacturers. My name is Michael Gross. I'm Sales Director Factory at 2020. In my role, I help prospects and clients on their journey to digital transformation. I do that by helping them with the software module selection and also bringing them in touch with our expert team that also helps to explain the functions of our software and guides you through your selection process. Today we will cover a number of topics. The first one is the three main challenges that we all have to overcome in the office furniture industry. I will give you a quick overview of what 2020 Insight is and why our clients like it. Then we will look into the areas of automation that we are supporting with the application, and that is sales order management, supply chain management, production management. After that, I bring that in context with the digital transformation and how 2020 Insight plays an important role to help you to achieve digital transformation of your enterprise. The three challenges that we all have to overcome start with the most pressing one, and that is our skilled labor shortage. On this chart, you see that in 2025, the digital natives will be the majority of our labor force, and the digital immigrants become less and less over time. What that means is you have now a workforce that is very technology savvy, but does not have the trade skills that are so typical for the digital immigrants. So the difference between natives and immigrants is that natives basically grew up with the internet and they don't know a world without it. They don't know analog telephones, faxes, and have a different way of learning and walking through the world. So natives are famous for their ability to multitask, while digital immigrants are used to think more in a sequential way and are more familiar with the trades. So what it means is there is an expectation of the younger workforce that your environment is providing them with all the technology support that they are used to, but you have a deficit in terms of their knowledge about how you do your business. The digital immigrants have the strength on the trade side, but sometimes lack the savviness on the technology side. So what we have to do now is to find a way to bridge the gap and help both generations to work together. And technology will play a very, very important role there. So it's important to be inclusive and find a way that both groups can work efficiently together. So the skilled labor shortage is definitely a big challenge to overtake. Now, with automation, we are also experience what I would call the data tsunami. What I mean with that is with the interoperability of equipment and software applications, we are generating exponentially more data than in the past. And the challenge that comes with the data is that data by itself is pretty meaningless only if you are able to transpose data into information, then it becomes meaningful. So we've, as an industry, have to find ways to cleverly convert this enormous amount of data that comes into meaningful information. This information drives your business processes and business decisions. And you have to build it in a way so that it is scalable and accessible at the right time for the right audience. So besides the skilled labor shortage and the data tsunami, the next big challenge that we all face is that not only our workforce is changing, Also, our clients are changing. They have the same generation change happening. And as a result, we observe there is a different buying behavior. Clients will use different distribution channels and also different ways of interacting with you. So the natives typically want to have almost a self-serve scenario where they can go in the web and browse information on demand, whereas immigrants, digital immigrants, prefer to have in-face contact and working with dealers and having a different buying experience. Now, the future cannot only cater to one of those groups, it has to cater to both. So that means on the manufacturing side, we have to find ways to cater for all eventualities. And we see now Wayfair, Amazon becomes more and more important also for the office furniture industry. And but the dealers will remain an important force to reckon with. So different buying behavior, have to inclusive here as well, and have to find ways to make it easy to work with a manufacturer, whether it comes from a web-based environment or a traditional where you get the order sent in electronically. So what is 2020 Insight? We are offering a combination of an ERP software platform and professional services to replace manual processes with digital processes and older technology with newer digital technology. So what we mean there is Insight, while being an ERP, you have the choice to deploy it in a modular way. You can do it step by step. You can deploy the entire application, or you can also augment software that you have already with modules that come. So it's a platform. It's very flexible, and it's not a standalone in a sense. We have a strong technical staff that knows your industry very well and helps you to apply the technology where it makes sense and where it is efficient for you. The best way to describe the impact of 2020 Insight is to talk about what the clients really like about the software. So one is we are part of a larger ecosystem that covers the point of sale and the point of manufacturing. So for all who have been working with CAP and GISA and Worksheet, they will appreciate that 2020 is also offering a point of manufacturing application with 2020 Insight. So you have the possibility to cover end-to-end with our services and software applications at 2020. Then I mentioned our industry knowledge before. We're very proud of our professional services and development teams. Our software development team is really focusing only on the niche market, what we call woodworking industry. That would include office furniture, architectural millwork, upholstery, and kitchen cabinetry. So that is our domain. That is where we are working. And you will find people that really understand the challenges of building office furniture very well. Insight is modular and scalable. So whether you start with a small project or want to run a multi-million, a few thousand people large company, Insight can be scaled to fit your requirements. It's extremely scalable. And I mentioned earlier, we have the ability to build it out to a full end-to-end solution with our applications or a combination with what you have already in place. And this interconnectivity with the existing software is critical in a world where you want to be selective in which area you want to start with a project. We are able to connect with the whole range of software applications, ranging from accounting and in engineering and in all other areas as well. And then one great differentiator is our a workflow management tool, and that allows you incredible freedom to model and execute processes without costly customization. In the typical scenario with a classic ERP, you would require third-party applications to do the process modeling, and then other applications to do actually the execution of business functions that are augmenting your ERP. In our case, we have a built-in workflow management system that allows you to model your processes, and then execute them. And that is very unique in the industry and very powerful when you implement the software, because especially with a lot of standard ERPs out there, you are typecasted in a specific area. So you have to apply the software as is. In our case, you have a lot of way to make it your own. And that without costly customization. We will train you how to do that. And I will be talking about that in this presentation as well, how that will work. We are process people mainly. We focus on business processes and try to automate as much as possible. Obviously, there are limitations to automation. We want your staff to shine where they have the trade knowledge and the differentiation. But if there are processes that can be automated, that's where we help you to free these resources from repetitive work in different areas in your enterprise. A good example for success is Indiana Furniture, who has implemented our management platform from order entry to engineering to shipment, the whole end-to-end solution in a way that it was not visible to their clients. That was very important for them. They didn't want to have any disruption. And here you see the modular character of the application is very helpful. It allows you to define your pace, how you want to roll it out. And that was a great success. A little more about Insight and the structure. I mentioned our ability to cover key processes in sales, order, production, supply chain management. That's the functionality that we have in the core of our application. And then we have additional layers, and these layers allow you to capture and execute business logic. So you can define, depending on events or status changes, what kind of decisions you are automating. And these decisions would live in your business processes that you can model and execute in another layer that is on top of our core. So your business rules and your business processes can be defined outside of the core. And if we change our core functionality, we will do it in a way that it doesn't impact the other layers that you have add on to the application. That gives you extreme freedom to make the software function as you need it. And then once you're able to define your processes and your business logic, you have also the way to integrate with the outside world. So that you're not confined into the 2020 world. We are able to reach out to third-party applications and basically tie information sources from outside as well. All of what we discussed is obviously real time, and you don't have to work in batch processes, which is also very important. Now, if you look at, I mentioned the workflow management system. How does it work? It acts like an information highway that goes across your entire enterprise, and you can add to this information highway modules that you have licensed from us, like sales order management, production process data management, engineering automation, or you also can integrate third-party applications like accounting packages or additional engineering tools that you have for specific areas in your company. We're very strong in machine integration. Again, you are in a driver's seat to decide what you want to add to your environment, and leverage the power of this workflow management system. Now, we have seen that this workflow management system works like a information highway that goes through your company. As a consequence, we are able to capture relevant information, actionable information from all areas of your company and make them visible in our business intelligence unit. And this is just an example here, and it illustrates how helpful this can be because, again, there's lots of data out there, but in assembly, some of your staff members are just interested in rejects, right? So we can zoom in on that information, make that assembly rejects in real time available, and then provide them with additional information to intervene with issues as they may arrive, or get also an overview about what's happening right now, like in this scenario where we look at the cabinets that are assembled, that are kitted, your actual throughput now in dollars instead of units. It's up to you what units and what views you're creating. I've seen companies that take some of these screens and make them visible to their line workers so that they see what's going on. We talked about data and information. In this case, we would have the right information in the right form so that it can be consumed and provide that to the right audience, right? We would not share all the information with everybody, but we'll make a conscientious decision who can see what when. We talked about automating business processes and rules, the decisions, and we do that in 3 key areas: in the sales area, in the supply chain area, and in the production area. Let's have a look at sales. And this is a good example with another of our clients, Freon, and they emphasize that for them, creating value means delivering a seamless customer experience from sale to delivery. So it's very important to build those relationships with the clients and have a seamless flow from their initial customer engagement to finally the fulfillment in the plant. Now, in this overview, it's just illustrated that we have different areas where we sell or interact with clients. This is designers and dealers. In some cases, builders, architects, and retailers. We have within the 2020 ecosystem a number of products that are catering for the point of sale and the design world, but we are also integrating with other leading point of sale solutions. The way how we interface on the manufacturing sides is that we are able to ingest different methods and formats, just like EDI in this case, email, web services. So if you have your own website with your own GUI, we are able to provide web services that are importing information from that website very easily. We are also able to ingest any kind of XML format as well. So Insight has monitors. These monitors will listen to information that comes in, and then depending on what it is, it will then route it to the right people. And that looks, in this case, with the worksheet integration, that you have the monitor out there. This is an email monitor in that case that waits for files to come in. The system is capable to identify the nature of those emails, and then with the help of the workflow tool, is able to route the order entry information to customer service personnel that has certain criteria. So you can do that by geography, by product catalog, or differentiation, whether it is a standard order or a custom order, right? So the automation part here is that on one side you're able to ingest information automatically that comes in different formats, and then you can route this information to the right person within your enterprise so that they can further process it. Obviously, we are trying to automate as much as possible in the order entry process, so that we can free the customer service people to interact with your client and to verify certain things and create this customer intimacy that is so important to create customer satisfaction. We talked about automation on the sales side. Supply chain management is the next area where we would look into automating. Inside is multi-plant capable. It also supports warehouses at different levels. We have clients that have large warehouses with distribution centers where they use our application successfully. We have also clients that constantly have to make or buy decisions or balance capacities among plants. Again, the workflow is helping a lot in that area, but we have also deep functionality that helps you not only with balancing workloads, but also identifying the real-time inventory and inventory locations of products, to the point that we would guide then the pickers to the right racks to take the right amount of products and making sure that everything is available for kitting. The last example about automation is now coming from Technion. We are now talking about automation in the production area. And here is a quote of Richard Wolf of Technion that is referring to their project where they are able to reduce the time to produce custom and semi-custom orders with our solution, and also help to get new products created, or put new products lines created in a very short period of time. If we talk about digital transformation, there is a term that comes from Industry 4.0, and that's the digital twin. And the digital twin means basically you have one-to-one representation of your reality in your digital world, in your application. In our case, that would work in 3 layers, right? So if we start on the point of sale, we are focusing on product and price configuration. All what the client wants to know at this point is how does it look like? Does it fit in my physical space? And does it fit in my budget, right? So here we would do renderings, design layouts, price logic, and either there is a person that is interacting with your client, or you have an application where the client would then focus on those things, on how does it look like, does it fit? Once the order has been placed, our focus is shifting. Now we are looking at how it is engineered, the physicality of the product, how wide and thick are those components, how do they interconnect, how do we put them together, right? So the construction principles are relevant, the dimensions, the components. So anything that is relevant for the physical part of the product. In the design time, nobody would really think about dowels or confirmate screws or levelers or such things, right? But here we need to know it because we have to order it and we have to produce it. Now, in order to get a higher level of automation, we then would have also the next level, that's as process, because as soon as we know what we are going to produce, now we are setting additional layers that would then decide the routing steps, the machining, the purchase items that are relevant to those products or to groups of products. Insight is a very strong capability to allow you to swap in the last minute routing steps based on capacity situations or characteristics of the product. It's a lot of logic that you can build in, and it allows you to zoom on that reality that is relevant for the time that you are working with that item. So that means here you want to look at how to sell it. Here you look how you build it, and here you want to look how to execute that item or fulfill the item in your production area, including installation. So all paths to true agility lead to digital transformation. It's very important to find ways to substitute the non-digital or manual processes with the digital processes. We see, in particular in our industry, there are still a lot of manual processes that live in the minds of the people on the shop floor that keep things going. And with the coming generation change, it is really important to have a strong technology backbone that is it's allowing to introduce more CNC equipment, more automation, more handling, and that requires to switch from a lot of those manual processes to digital processes. And to do that, you need software that is modern and that is also proven for our industry. Industries are different, and companies to companies are different. You need to have an application that is flexible enough to adjust to things, how you to adjust to the processes that you are executing, and help your team to be the best that they can be. And then obviously there is a lot of older technology still out there that needs to be replaced. We believe that in the next 5 to 10 years, there will be a lot of transformation in replacing the technologies from the beginning 90s that is now aging out. So we have historically low interest rates. And if you listen to economists, they advise if you are able to take a credit, take it now, because the interest rates are so low. And we all know that you have to invest in automation, and the investments take time to work in a changing world, right? So it's the time now to get ahead of your competition by investing into new technologies, new ways of doing things that are in sync with this changing world that we are all facing, right? We talked about the generation change, about the change on the buyer behavior, and you have to keep in mind, it takes time and effort to make it work. It is not just an investment, it's a journey, and it's a collaboration with your vendors that obviously need to provide you with good software, but the software alone will not make it either. You need a dedicated team that helps with this transformation process and collaborates with your vendors so that you can get the most out of your undertaking. Keep in mind there are a lot of interdependencies within not only your company but also with the outside world, right? With your vendors, with your buyers, with your distribution channels. These things are all intertwined and have to be taken in consideration, right? So even if a solution is good in a department, it might not be good for others. So you always have to see what's the trade-off of implementing. So interdependencies are very important. In summary, digital transformation is the backbone for automation. It is the foundation that helps you to grow. The structural changes impact not only not only impact the workforce, but also your business partners. And you have now the time to get ahead of the rest by taking this opportunity and building a strong foundation and invest now. Thank you so much for attending this presentation. And if you would like to have more information about 2020 Insight, about our team, and about our ecosystem, then please come and visit 2020 Spaces or give us a call. We're very happy to meet with you in person as well. With that, thank you very much for your attention, and stay safe and have a good day. Bye-bye.